If you've been following my journey, I currently have 2 Amazon FBA businesses and 1 Amazon related service company, and I travel the world. How can this be possible? Well, in this video today, I'm going to share with you how I use my Amazon businesses to fund my digital nomad lifestyle. Stay tuned. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson, and I've been selling on Amazon now doing online arbitrage for the last 5 years. Now, I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller with 2 Amazon businesses, one in the UK and one in the USA, and hopefully I'm going to expand into another business in the near future. Now, if you're interested in learning how I've done it and what I'm learning on my journey, do make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Okay, so what are we talking about today? First things first, I'll talk about my Amazon journey. Number 2, I'm going to talk about my lifestyle. And then number 3, I'm going to talk about how I use my Amazon business to help fund that lifestyle as well. So let's get started. So first things first, my Amazon journey. Like other Amazon sellers, I started selling on Amazon UK, and I had a little capital and I started to, get sales going through and starting to grow that capital. Now, when I started, I was selling electronic devices, but unfortunately my business experienced losses. I really wasn't making much money. As a result, my friend said, try something different. I loved the Amazon model, so I pivoted from doing wholesale over to online arbitrage. Now, from that point, everything started ramping up, and I managed to turn my losses around, and the small profits that I was even making, my Amazon business started to gain more and more profits, and I started to grow. Now, don't get me wrong, I still have problems, I was still making mistakes along the journey, and just like a lot of other Amazon sellers, I was really not aware of my numbers within my Amazon business, and I learned from those mistakes. Now, as I started to move to a more clear direction, and more focused on key performance indicators within my Amazon business, then things started to change. Now, after 5 years of selling on Amazon, and if we put it in perspective, my Amazon UK business right now has done more than £3 million in sales in just the last 12 months. 1 million of that came from Q4 alone last year. That is absolutely blown my mind. Now, also as well, in 2021, I opened up my Amazon USA business, and after the last 12 months of doing that, we've done already over $500,000 in sales, and that has all come, both businesses, from doing online arbitrage. Now, don't get me wrong, reaching these achievements has not been easy. It's taken me a lot of focus, discipline, learning from my mistakes, and such hard work, like early mornings, late nights, or working with my team. Now, there has been a time when, my credit cards, my Amazon business have been used unauthorized transactions, and also there's a time when we failed to pay our prep center, which caused massive delays during a Q4 period. Now, I learned all of these mistakes, and in addition to that, I've attended international conferences, developing my Amazon businesses by having coaching from Tony Robbins' company, and also as well growing my own business acumen. Have I achieved these all by myself? Of course not. Absolutely no. Along the years of selling on Amazon, I have hired a team. They are doing sourcing for me, which is the majority of the roles I have. It really helps my Amazon business. But in addition to that, to the sourcing, I also have admin VAs who support the Amazon business through understanding the numbers, managing inventory, managing the administration side, but also as well, I have my purchasing assistants and I have my purchasing managers who are doing all the purchasing and managing of the teams as well. Now, my teams have grown so big that even at one point, I had to hire pretty much an operations manager who manages the 2 businesses for me on a day-to-day, which frees me up. Now, alongside my Amazon journey, I've also established a 3rd business, which is Fast Track FBA, the YouTube channel you're watching right now. And this is an Amazon related business whereby we help Amazon sellers on their selling journey by making it easier, providing them with lots of resources, education, and also tools and services. Things such as the ultimate sourcing sheet, the cash flow management sheet, also VAs, virtual assistants, admin and sourcing. We also provide deals or lead services for them as well. Now, if I combine my teams together from all 3 businesses, as of making this video, I'm probably around right now, I think the number is about 88 staff, to getting very near that infamous 3-figure headcount across my 3 companies, which is like crazy big. Now, if you want to know about my Amazon selling journey in the UK and the USA, what I'll do is I'll leave a playlist around here, if I put up here, on how I scale my Amazon businesses. Check that out. And I've shared so much of my journey and what I've learned and what I've done because I've documented it. if you're asking me, with all these achievements and should we say the growth within my Amazon business, what do you think my lifestyle is? So my lifestyle is probably quite different from what the common lifestyle of most Amazon sellers would be. My lifestyle revolves more around traveling the world and managing my business online. Now, there are people who do this and they are called digital nomads. Digital nomads are people who use laptops, phones, maybe even iPads, and they basically all they need is an internet connection to earn money online, or earn living online, should we say. Now, they're generally traveling from place to place. Now, most of the time, digital nomads work remotely from foreign countries, coffee shops, public libraries, co-working spaces. Now, as for me, I started my digital nomad journey because I really wanted to enjoy the lifestyle more and the life that it could live. Now, the benefits I got from being a digital nomad are discovering new places, new cultures, and I learned a lot about myself as well. And to give you an idea of where I've been, and this is a lot of places where I've actually lived, not just traveled to: Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Cancun, Gran Canaria, Lithuania, New York, Miami, France, Guatemala, Bansko and Bulgaria. And next week, I'm preparing myself, should we say, to go to Orlando. I've got an event to go to. Now, the most important thing for me as a digital nomad is that meeting new people, learning from them, gaining new experiences. I've had some great nights out in Gran Canaria and even in Vietnam and Thailand, where I've had drinks with other digital nomads, people traveling the world and learning from them. I've also met other Amazon sellers who travel the world whilst growing their businesses. And what I will say is, if you want to learn more about my digital nomad lifestyle, what I'll do is I'll leave a playlist up above about my life as a digital nomad. Check that out. Now, having a digital nomad lifestyle for me is not just about traveling the world, it's also about learning. And I've really tried to align both of them together. Now, as you can see, I have met lots of people who I can learn a lot from my business, scale my Amazon business as well. Now, moreover, I've been able to travel, which gives me space to think about my goals, my personal development, and taking time to think about my business. Now, what I will say is, if you're following my journey and watched it, I have been traveling the world, seeing different places. And for me, I really value freedom. I really value experiences, new discoveries. So hence why the digital nomad lifestyle has been really good. And really, if you follow this journey, you've probably been watching my Amazon USA journey. Why did I do that? Well, because I noticed through my travels that a lot of people are selling on the US. I noticed how successful they were. And I was like, there's an opportunity there. And even to this day, there is a great opportunity in the USA. Now, I've recently met many Amazon sellers who've been doing both UK and USA. And they basically said, if they were to start today, where would they start? They would start in America. Why? Better margins, just more products to find, bigger marketplace, and I really understand that. Now, the thing I'd say is, if you want to copy my journey, everything that I did, the formation, as you say, a non-resident in the USA, then obviously you need to get it done right. If you want to copy what I've done, do check out my Fast Track FBA Getting Started in the USA course, which basically I documented everything around company structure, formation, accountants, prep centers, everything you need to do to get selling on Amazon before you create your Amazon selling account. But if you're interested in copying that journey, then I put together a short course, which is about 20 videos that I've made up, everything that I've learned from that journey, and I'll drop it down below. You can buy it today for a one-time price, and it's an absolute bargain. Check that out. I think you're gonna love it. Now, this leads me nicely on to how I use my Amazon lifestyle to fund my business. Now, you might have been following my journey and noticed actually that I've been traveling the world a lot and asked you, hey Tom, how do you actually do this? Well, quite interesting enough, I do talk about it a lot when I'm traveling or what I'm doing. And even this year, I made a decision at the beginning of the year, actually last year for this year, that I wanted this year to be the best year ever for traveling. I want to go to more places, more travel than I've ever done before. This is certainly true, and I'd probably say that every single month I have been somewhere in the world. Like, I have traveled a lot. This is great, but also my girlfriend would probably appreciate me being here a little bit more. I've tried to balance that travel with going to events, meeting other business leaders, business networking, and just also having a great quality of life. Playa del Carmen, I've been to New York City with my girlfriend, London, Paris, and Madrid, which is absolutely amazing. By the way, we pretty much flew business class, if not first, the entire time. That's not cheap. And even I put it this way, right now I'm about to go to Orlando. I'm about to hit platinum status on my Marriott hotel. And across Marriott and Hilton, I would have spent 2 months in hotels this year. And right now we're about halfway through September. So super excited about that. And also it kind of shows you how it's going on. Now, the one thing which I say, or the question you might be asking is, how do you fund this? What do you do? Well, you've got to get a bit creative, and you've got to get creative around maximizing your Amazon business and the rewards from it. If you want to know, I have like 3 Amex Platinum cards. Every single time my purchasing team are buying stuff, we're using Amex Platinum. Now, in addition to that, we'll have like Amex Gold in the UK and also Capital on tap. Now, why do I use these cards? They give me insane amounts of cash back. And what do I mean cashback? Points or points that I'm purchasing. I think right now when I look across my business, and by the way, we've done a lot, I have just shy of 1 million points across Avios, Amex, the hotel rewards, so many points. And by the way, that's after traveling so much. I've probably spent 2 to 3 million points this year alone as well. Now, how do I get them? Quite simply, all my team are spending through these cashback credit cards, Amex Platinum, we get signing bonuses, 100,000. And what I will do is I'll drop a link down to my tools page, check it out, because it has a link to all my, platinum cards, all the cards we use, and also cashback sites, which I'll talk about in a minute. Number one, we're using all the Amex Platinum cards to do our purchasing. We're getting the points, we're getting the sign up bonuses for them as well. Now, number two, in addition to this, what we're also doing is getting cashback. And when we do cashback, let's say for example in the UK you use top cashback, instead of taking the cashback, you can take it as points. To give you a good example, if you have 1,700 pounds of cashback in top cashback right now, instead of taking it as 1,700, you can take it as 170,000 Avios points instead. It's 1 penny cashback for 1 point of Avios. That 170,000 Avios points can convert into a first class return ticket on BA, Mexico to, the UK. That's a £10,000 flight, return, which is incredible. But if you got it as cashback, you're only getting £1,700. You're basically getting a 5x multiple by taking Avios points rather than as cashback. So I've done that as well. In the US, they do exactly the same thing. Rakuten, you can actually take your cashback as Amex points rather than as cashback. Now, in addition to this, collecting all the points is really good, but also what we try and do is we try and maximize those points wherever possible. When those points have maybe promotions, conversions that you can use, we do that. Also as well, even little things. When I talk about Marriott hotels, Marriott have a great deal whereby if you book 4.4 nights on points, you get the 5th night for free. So I generally try and book 5 nights wherever I go, only pay for 4 and get 5 as well. Now, in addition to this, they'll have offers on the hotels that they're discounted and certain things are going on. So we can do that. I'll also message them in advance and ask for upgrades. So I get upgraded in the rooms, which is really exciting. And then also sometimes I might not even use points. Sometimes I might even run the trip itself through as a business cost within my business. But because sometimes it actually pays to pay because you can do certain things. So it might be the case that I pay for, economy class flights with my business because I'm going to a business trip, so it's a business expense. And then what I'll do is I'll use my points to upgrade. So I am incurring some cost, but actually then I can fly business class for points and it costs me really next to nothing. So that works as well. Now there are so many little hacks you can do around this, so many different ways you can kind of grow it, and so many opportunities you can get around traveling. And if you're willing to be flexible, obviously like me, digital nomad style, I can sit there and watch, I can fly at maybe the not great time. Maybe I can fly a weekday, first class back to, the UK, which is going to have a slightly less points redemption, which is going to work out absolutely fine. Or maybe find some good deals on, using my Avios points. For example, right now, I think I've just done, I'm flying basically from Orlando over to the UK, and then obviously either Ibiza, and then back down to Barcelona or Madrid, then Barcelona, and then back to Mexico City. And all of that's probably costing me $400 because we're using points. And it's absolutely incredible that I can do that. And even the time I'm in Barcelona, I'm staying in a 5-star Marriott hotel for nothing because I've just got the points whereby we've had so many. An interesting thing, even when you book Marriott with points, they give you more points for the booking, which is hilarious. So you can just keep stacking them up. And if you are doing big numbers in regards to Amazon, where you are buying lots of stock and reselling and adding cashback on top, those really start growing. So top tip for you, use credit cards, use cashback points. And then once you start collecting those points, be very strategic about how you spend them, look for the good opportunities. My God, you can have a great life. I think every single month I've been on a flight somewhere in the world. It's just been incredible. And it's been a very busy, busy year. Now, what I will say is that being a digital nomad does require you to have goals because, hey, if you follow my journey in Thailand, when I first started, all I did was got drunk, and as a result, I didn't have goals, and my net result was that my business went down. So make sure you're having goals, make sure you're having targets. And if you want to learn what I did after that kind of bad period in Thailand, going now into where I started to focus, and this was in Vietnam, and I set myself a goal, and my God, my business changed overnight. Now, if you want to know about that, what I will do is I'll drop a video around here called My Goal to Achieve £1 million in sales in my Amazon UK business. And this started all off. That was the turning point. Watch this video and I'll put it here. And it's basically how I set a goal to do 1 million in 18 months, but we actually did it in 12. So watch the video. I think you're gonna love it. Now, hopefully you liked this video. If you did, then do make sure you hit the like button down below and also hit the subscribe button as well to see more videos like this. That's myself, Thomas Parkinson, Fast Track FBA. Thank you very much.